to review the web series, which is Pushpavalli, which has got a lot of attention, a lot of reviews. And Saloni is ESL and MIT trainer. Okay, we will talk a bit about that. And this is the first episode of the series, The Review. Here, everybody, a common man, gets a chance to review what they've seen. It can be a movie, it can be a web series, it can be a short film. There might be films which have not come into the limelight. You get an opportunity to also discuss that. So, Saloni, thanks a lot for joining in. What's going on in life, and thanks for joining for reviewing Pushpavalli.
Thank you so much, Ravi, and thank you so much for calling me again and meeting me again. Well, yes, life is really good. Back to the track after lockdown and going back to the offices and handling the work. And yes, I got this opportunity from the WurkTV to go with the review of Pushpavalli. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. So, kaisa laga? How is the series? Did you get a chance to watch both the series 1 and 2?
Yes, I watched this series. This lockdown has really given an opportunity to most of us to watch the Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hotstar, Disney Hotstar, and everything. And the series is it's very unique. It's very different. Initially, it actually starts with a comedy. If I talk about the series one, the season one, if I talk about, it's very comedy. It's a very comedy kind of a series where a girl whose name is Pushpavli, who is a bit healthier, who's on the healthier side, and she's actually following her dreams, and she finds a handsome good looking man, and okay, then she starts chasing her, and she believes that okay, that man also loves her. So initially it's a very comedy kind of a thing, the way the act she does and all the things she try to do to you just take take his attention. But coming on to the season 2, slightly I find it's like going and turning into the psychological thriller. So I found that thing to be adding up over here. However, I do support it, but somewhere it was a bit extreme, in season 2, which I think should be avoided.
Okay.
Season 1 can be watched by any age bar. Any age bar, if you talk about being up to 18 years or going more than 18 years, or maybe you can sit with your parents and you can watch it. It's very normal. But when it comes to the season 2, I would definitely not advise for girls to go and watch this thing, or maybe the girls who are facing the challenges with their own body, and who are facing the challenges and no one is giving them attention, and they are so that can create a problem for them, definitely.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the lead roles, characters who played?
Definitely. This girl whose name is Sumukhi, if I'm not wrong, who is performing the lead actress at Pushpavalli, she's incredible with her acting. And the bonding that she has with her mother, the kind of the language bonding they both have, because some of the language sense with their own particular language, I'm not sure about it. I'm very bad with it, whether it's a Telugu or it's like Kannadiga, I'm not sure about it. But the language that they use at times, she's also unable to understand. Most of the time, the series is done in the English communication. So yeah, they have used English language a lot. Secondly, I'm very impressed with the man who considered to be out a very yelling person, and who's a very good friend of Pushpavali. His name is Pankaj. Originally, his name is Naveen. He runs a children's library where Pushpavali actually works. He yells a lot, but he's a very funny person, and I think the series is actually taking somewhere like boom and all because of this person also. So he's again a very nice, and the keyboard. His performances are very incredible, incredible performances. I mean, without passing a smile, he brings out a lot of humor in his particular scene. So the key boy who performs, who used to work everything for Pushpavali, so this man is also amazing. So this series is actually behind this girl who wants the attention of a guy named Nikhil, who runs his own, chemical factory, who deals with import export of some kind of foods, where various chemicals actually also produced. So he's very handsome, good looking. They both met in some of, like food seminars. They both met over there. So initially there was no scene of having an attraction toward that man, of having an attraction towards that guy. But then suddenly she got attracted. She found his actions in such a way that maybe he's also inclined towards her. However, it was not. It was a normal, casual way of responding to a woman, to a girl. That's for that man. So yeah, and that slowly, gradually got into the psychological thriller where she believed that yeah, she is healthier, she's obese, and that's the reason, that maybe this man is not liking her. And she believes that, okay, I also have a right to have a good looking man in my life. Why should I go and have a healthy person as a spouse for me? So that's what we can see in the season two. So season one is entirely a lot more when it comes to the comedy side as comparatively season two. Season two is bit twist, having a lot of, conspiracies, holding, going with the T-boy and having a lot of conspiracies against Nikhil. So yeah, that was again in such a way.
Okay. Can
So
you watch this with kids? I've not got a chance to watch this, but can you watch this with kids?
season one we can. There is no as such any, like adult scenes, or there is no as such scenes which can be avoidable. But season two, I would say no, because the conspiracies that she is doing it, nowadays kids are no more like small. They are too young to understand everything. So conspiracies, the way she is doing it, they might give you the chance to go in that psychological matter. So season one, definitely anyone can watch, but not season two.
Okay.
Season one, not recommend. I can only recommend to those people who have experience, who have that age bar to watch, but not the season two.
Okay. So who's your best character in the entire series?
Of course, Pushpavalli. She is amazing. And apart from this, I would go with the yelling man. That's name is Pankaj. And his actions, his way of expressions are amazing. Amazing in that case. That, the way he gives his expressions. And he has some, like favoring friend soft corner for Pushpavalli, where he wants to stop her, where he really never wants her to take a decision going with that man of business. But of course, she had that ego issue, that how somebody can say no to her. She wanted that man anyhow. That's what we can see in the season two. So making that conspiracy, asking the T-boy, taking a favor from a T-boy, and felling her, like just pushing her mother from one place so that she can met an accident and she can go, get hospitalized. This is something which is really not good. This is like bit thriller, and I believe that yes, we might get season three also, because the ending of a season two is in such a way that it's still a bit confusing. So I believe we might get season three, because we're not sure enough whether Pushpavali had died in season two or not. So there can be the possibility that we can get in that
Okay.
case.
So who dominated? Did the characters, the actors who played these characters, did they dominate or the script dominate?
The characters.
The
Script
character.
was very simple. It was very simple. It was very simple. We can just take it with the normal girls today, normal couples today. It was very simple. But characters, the way they represent, the way they act, the way they showcased it, definitely it's all about the characters. Some of them have done the incredible, acting in this, I can say.
Okay. And all these characters I see, they're not really famous. They're pretty new, but still done awesome job.
Yes. This girl who performed the role of Pushpavali, I think she's a stand-up comedian, if I'm not wrong about her.
Yeah.
And her acting is good in this. In fact, they all have done their own parts very nicely. Even the mother who played the role of Pushpavali, she's also very good in her own senses. So yeah, they all have no as such a great past acting experience, but definitely they have tried to be much more good in this particular script. So overall, this series is really gained because of the actors and this. They really gained
Okay.
in this.
So what about the language? I see some of the languages using F's and B's have become very common and been very commonly used in most of these series. So what's your view on that?
They have used in English. They haven't used in Hindi like other Hindi web series, but they have used in English. Again, I will say the same word. In season one, it's less as comparatively season two, except one man to whom I really like his yelling, as I said, Pankaj, whose name is Naveen, who is the happened to be honor of the comparatively season two. But yeah, obviously, हमारे देश में है, English में चीजें चल जाती है, हिंदी में नहीं चलती हैं. So everything in English they have. But still, it's a good series. It gives you a lot more learning, I believe, especially to the girls who are underconfident, who believe that they won't get anybody if they are not in a good looking. I think they should be more confident. So this series actually shows you that you should be more confident in whatever shape and size you are.
Okay. Tell me honestly, Sonali, were these episodes so interesting that you watched it one after one. और एक ही साथ पैंडमिक में ऐसा सिचुएशन था where we wanted to watch everything together. Okay, आज सीजन वन कंप्लीट कर लेंगे, all the episodes one after back to back. So ऐसा था या you watched it at leisure, एक के बाद एक.
So, Ravi, I watched both the season in one go.
Okay.
In one, even after season one, I was really excited the moment the season two will come. I watched it extremely in one go. I think I spared around 3 hours, 3 to 3.5 hours continuously to watch this particular series. Obviously, Pushpavalli season one I watched in lockdown, so yeah, then we were bit like free. We didn't have that much of time to busy schedule. But in Pushpavalli 2, I was back again with my office, but still I managed to watch it. So I didn't just give a gap and all, because after one episode, you have that interest to know, okay, what will come in the second one? What is the reaction? Like, I have that curiosity whether she's died or she's not. So I'm seriously waiting for season three right now, that whether they will introduce season three or not. So you have that curiosity. So it actually brings out that curiosity in the mind of the people, the viewers, what will happen in the next episode. So I watched it back to back.
Okay, so for the people who've not watched Pushpavalli yet, here is a short trailer of the second season. With your experience, these series have been done by awesome production team, which are very experienced and backed up by a great brand. But otherwise, do you have any suggestions for this particular team while they're making season 3? Any areas of improvement where they can work on?
Yeah, I think the yelling should be less. There is a lot of yelling in this series, being the side of this, her friend Pankaj, or being like her mother. I think it should be less, because somewhere you are dominating your script, somewhere because of the yelling. We are unable to understand it at times that, okay, if there is a conversation going on and all of a sudden you yell. So yelling should be less. And abusive language, if you really want the entire audience to be the part of it, then that should not be there. However, the script is absolutely fine. The way they're acting is fine. But yelling is the part that we should really focus on. It should be less in the season three.
Yeah, especially a lot of people nowadays. I think one of the reason this language is being used is because most of the people have switched from TV to watching this on mobiles. Okay, so but the point which you're raising is also correct. Most of these guys have headphones on now while they're watching on mobile, and some of these yellings might be very irritating, where you're juggling most of the time, increasing or decreasing the volume. Okay.
And Ravi, the second thing is, when you just listen one every time in every episode, if you listen somebody yelling, you might lose the interest. People say, okay, what is the storyline? I mean, whenever I switch on this particular episode, it's only yelling. You might have people at times who really lose their interest, who are going to watch it in the first attempt. So overall, the storyline is good. The actors have done fantastic job. What they're trying to show to the public, the message they're trying to convey is fine, but the yelling part is somewhere overshadowed it. It should not be there. So slightly less. I'm not saying that you should eradicate it entirely, but slightly less. It should be there.
Okay. So, Saloni, what is the overall rating out of 5? You would
I
give her.
give around between 3 to 4, 3.5 above, like this.
Okay. Thank you, Saloni. You want to say anything else about this particular series before we wind up?
Yes, I just want to say that please watch this series, but please watch it alone, especially the season two, and just watch it with a positive mindset. Don't try to attempt the actions that the woman is doing, but see the result also that she's getting, and what lesson one can learn it from this. So yeah, but overall, it's a fantastic series. One must watch it. It's a good series.
Thanks a lot, Saloni, for joining us. Friends who are watching this, I have personally not seen Pushpavalli. I will take time and watch it. So thanks a lot, Saloni, for joining in. Have a great evening, friends.